to Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show and the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com. With your hosts, Diana-Mite, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex the Cargirl Rogio, Hot Rod Bob Beck, plus Dar Hawthorne and Donnie Couch.
And here we go. Welcome to Speed Scene Live. I'm Bruce Barker. There's Diana-Mite.
Welcome.
Lucky the Irish with Lucky Hudson.
A little bit Irish in it today.
A little bit Irish in me there.
Hot Rod Bob Beck is here.
I ate a green hot dog.
You ate a green. Those aren't good for you, Bob.
No.
It's not supposed to be green.
7-Eleven.
It's not 7-Eleven.
Look at that race car. Look at that burnout.
And it's not green. No. Hey, tonight we're going to talk with the nostalgia double-A gassers. Wait till you see some of the shots we've got to show you video-wise as well. Speaking of video, bunches of video of the Diana-Mite Nova going down the track. And, of course, you're seeing it right here as well.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to talk all about our Project 406 motor build with Paul Williams Specialty and also lots of other March meet cars. Check out my car right here. I am so stoked. The power that I got from this 406. You know, it's been years since I could tell my car to do something and it did it. It's like, go, 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 go faster, go. You know, when you're going like high tens, you feel like you're in a Flintstone mobile, like you can actually get out and pedal, but really you can't because you're doing over 120 miles an hour. That extra 10 miles per hour really makes a lot.
You know, Diana-Mite, we took the car yesterday and we ran the valves, we changed the oil, we put in brand new LAT racing oil. We use those LAT racing stainless steel oil filters that you can open up.
Sure.
Those things are gorgeous.
Yeah,
And
those are cool.
We looked inside. There's no debris, no metal. And the motor is in perfect condition.
Knock on wood, I'm going to keep it that way.
Nice.
Well, speaking of racing, Alex the Cargirl Rogio will be live in studio to talk about racing very soon. And Racers Who Care will be in studio next week to talk about how they motivate kids to get involved with motorsports. Stay out of trouble, go to racing, and we'll talk with a guy with a Facebook page to help racers get their stolen cars back.
Yeah, you know, Bob, he's putting together a page, and he's going to have this information all the time. So anytime a car disappears, we're gonna
Oh, I like
Is it going
network
to be
it
like
out.
an Amber Alert type thing for a
Yeah.
missing car?
He actually used that term and then decided, well, maybe the Amber
We can
Alert's
get
not-
somebody else's name, and we
Yeah.
can call it a Diana-Mite Alert.
Yeah.
It's a Diana-Mite Alert.
We're hoping.
Warning, warning, warning.
And little arms that are made out of like vacuum cleaner hoses will come on and go, danger, Will Robinson, danger.
You know, we got the technology. Let's use it to catch the bad guys and
Yes.
chase down these cars that
We can do
disappear.
that. Well, tonight, later on, we're going to be talking about gas. We're going to show you some vintage gas. We're going to see some old gas stations and the people that worked there when gas stations had style.
Oh.
I remember when gas
You
stations
mean when they
had
were
style.
service stations?
Yes.
Yes.
And service stations and a filling station.
And we have one shot that may surprise you. We'll talk to you about that when we get to it.
Is it you filling up a car?
No. They wouldn't let me go on camera. That can I crack the lens?
Is it a sign that says gasoline 25 cents a gallon for
That'll
Ethel?
shock
There's a couple of those, but she was out back. And that's
Oh,
another
Ethel.
story.
Yeah. It was the signs where the gasoline price and the price of cigarettes were exactly the same.
Just
And I
about.
remember
Nice.
39 cents.
And the guy pumping your gas was smoking a cigarette.
Right. And he was giving you those saving stamps, too. So you
Yeah.
S&H, green chip, blue chip. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Here's Bobby Cottrell. He's out there tearing it up with his dragster. He always does a great job. He's hoping to be out at Las Vegas in the near future. And MCA West. Last week we had Cammie Edelbrock talking about their event that's going to be at Fontana March 27th through
Hey,
the
we're going to be
29th.
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will be there. Hey, look, there's Rich Howells, front engine dragster. He wasn't at the March meet, not this time, but he's
No.
been at it many times before. April 18th is the next Match Race Madness. I'll be out there racing, and you never know who's going to show up. And also, Pink's All Out is back. That's right. Oh, nice job, Bruce. Pink's All Out. You can go to the Facebook page. Just Google Facebook Pink's All Out Week. Check it out. Tickets are on sale right now, but there's still tickets available. go ahead. You can sign up right on the Facebook page. And we are going to have Rich Christensen on our show in a couple weeks to talk about it. He's the man, the controversial guy. You know, he put this all together. A lot of people love to hate him. Other people hate to love him. But he is the man behind it. He's got Pinks All Out coming back, putting it back together. And this is your chance to get involved. So they will be at the Rock 4th of July weekend. That's June 30th. To July 4th at Rockingham Dragway.
Well, that's tenacity. You know, and I'm so glad that Rich didn't give up on that show because so many people liked it. So many people participated in it. Yep. And I'm glad to see that it's coming back.
And I've been to a bunch of them. I love them. I think they're great. And I know there's a lot of critics out there. I don't care. I love a good drag race. It's fun. People have a good time, and they have all kinds of now they have the fastest class, quick 16 class.
Well, there's so many street cars on TV now. I mean, there's the Outlaws and the Oklahoma Racers and this and that, and those kind of all came after Rich. Yeah. I mean, he did start something, so kudos to him.
Kudos to him. So hey, last weekend Larry Dixon was involved in a major crash. Oh, yeah. I know everybody's seen the pictures.
Horrific.
They've seen the video. We had a chance, actually, Donnie Couch had a chance to talk to him at the Winter Nationals. Let's check in with Larry Dixon.
Winter Nationals, first race of the season. Larry Dixon coming out pretty strong, my friend.
Yeah, it's so far so good with the C&J Energy team. Vandergrift, they found us a whole bunch more money to let us go out there and race the whole year, and we've spent a bunch with the Schumacher team and got some good parts, good equipment, good people, and it's throwing some numbers on the board.
Well, I mean, this team, Vandergrift, you don't think of being a front runner. Man, they've teamed up with Schumacher. They're working out of their shop. Bob Vandergrift's committed to these two cars out here, and you're getting a lot of credit for helping Dave Conley learn his game over there.
He's a badass all on his own. I mean, he just needs to be able to get a few runs under his belt, and he'll be fine, But as far as the Schumacher deal, what I like about it is when you walk over and you look at our car, whether it's the clutch, blowers, injectors, the cylinder heads, it's all the same stuff that DSR's running over there. And they won the championship last year in Top Fuel and Funny Car. So, that lets me know we got the same opportunity as them as long as we turn the knobs right.
Well, I was with some of the crew chiefs at Christmas for Schumacher Racing, spent a little time with them. They go, the worst part about this whole deal is Vandergrift comes in, orders 30 sets of heads. They're a customer. They get their parts first. We had to wait.
That means Bob's paying the bills.
Right? Yeah, well, yeah, hey, you finally got back to where you need to be with a top contending team, Larry, and we wish you luck 2015 season, and you got a lot of fans out there, and we wish you well.
Right on. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Donnie.
All right. I'm Donnie Couch. He's Larry Dixon. You're watching Speed Scene Live.
Well, it was a horrible crash. That was the Hedman car, and Diana-Mite, he doesn't look that good right there. I wonder how he looks now after the crash.
Well, I saw some pictures of him on Facebook. Some people had posted pictures, and he looked really great. He was giving a thumbs up, letting everybody know that he was okay. And, I saw that crash, and, it was just horrific. And the safety measures that they put in those cars are just phenomenal. That somebody can go that high up in the air, twist around, end up on a side rail, flip over, and do everything and still be okay. And thank God for those safety measures.
Yeah, it's like he was saying, though, he was glad he stayed on track rather than go off the track, because if he'd gone over the guardrail, the nose would have dug in and that thing would have just flipped over.
Oh, yeah.
So luckily it stayed on track.
And if he had gone off the track, technically he would have been considered a street racer, and he would have got a
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
What a dingling.
Listen, one of the racers that was competing out at the Gator Nationals is one of our favorite racers. He's a nostalgia drag racer. John Hale, one bad Texan, came up from the nostalgia ranks, started running the big show just at the Winter Nationals, did great this last weekend at the Gator Nationals. Let's catch up with him and Donnie at the Winter Nats.
Donnie Couch for Speed Scene Live here at the Winter Nationals 2015. John Hale, first race of an entire season you're going to run in these late model cars. Of course, we're used to seeing you in a nostalgia funny car, and you won the championship over there, and you're still going to run that car, but it's full time here, buddy.
It is. Stuff's fixing to get real serious, Donnie. Really ready to get in that car in the 1 o'clock session here and make that first lap and get it over with. Been waiting months for this lap here, and I'm anxious to get it over with and behind us.
Of course, this car, Jim Dunn, the legend out there, 81 years old. He's out here still doing it. Quality ride for you. I know you've gotten your license in other cars and made some laps, but this is a big commitment for you to run all the races.
It is. I want to do this. This is a dream. This is something I want to do. I'm very fortunate to have an opportunity with the Dunn family and this team. It's a good, solid team. I think we got funding this year that make us competitive with all the other teams. And Jim's got a good running car here. Last night he asked me if I wanted Old Blue or a bucking Bronco for my first run. So we're going to go out there with Old Blue and just get her down through there and then work from there.
Of course, the iconic Moon Eyes car, man, that thing's a legend. People go nuts when they come out with this Moon Eyes car, but I know there's some other sponsorship bodies and water companies. So you might talk about that a little and who's supporting this team this year.
I think everybody that's a hot rodder knows what Moon Eyes is and what a moon tank is and the iconic logo for Moon Eyes. We're happy that they've stuck with the Dunn family. Yesterday we did a photo shoot at the top end of the racetrack where all our crew had on white pants and a white shirt, and you're going to see that out on the starting line here this weekend. We're going back to that 50s look where you saw the black and white pictures of all the old front engine top fuelers. We're bringing that back, and I think the fans are really going to dig that, and I'm happy that we're bringing that to them.
Well, we're happy John Hale's out here full-time in the NHRA Tour. And, John, thanks for being on the show. We wish you luck.
Thanks, Donnie.
All right. John Hale, I'm Donnie Couch. You're watching Speed Scene Live.
Great job by Donnie Couch. Interviewed all the big stars. Man, Donnie knows them all and always delivers the goods.
He does, and we love John Hale. He's a great guy, and we wish him well, and he's going to do great out there.
And it's incredible. He's doing so well so soon. So I hope the momentum continues.
Me too.
And he just keeps going rounds with that car. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to go back in time. Nostalgia AA Gassers. Stay tuned. Speed Scene Live.
Do you need legal service? Go to ErnieTheAttorney.com.
At Aeromotive, we believe that performance means reliability, longevity, and durability. Being the best is no secret. By utilizing aerospace processes, procedures, technology, in-house engineering, true applications knowledge, and 3 generations of track experience, it's easy to see why we're the best. We take great pride in the fact that everything we sell, we design and make in the USA. See our entire line of fuel pumps and related products by logging on to aeromotiveinc.com. Aeromotive. We know it, we race it, we live it.
M&H Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You've paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. M&H Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to mandhtires.com. That's mandhtires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, mandhtires.com. Call them at 661-324-4773. M&H Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you. Slicks or DOT. M&H Tires has it all. M&H were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary M&H Tires. Shop online. Mention the Speed Scene and save 5%. Get the best racing tires, great personal service, and save 5%. Go to mandhtires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. mandhtires.com.
Welcome back to Speed Seen Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com.
Welcome back to the show, Speed Scene Live. I'm Lucky. I'm here with Bruce Barker, Hot Rod Bob Beck, Diana-Mite, and we are bringing you the Nostalgia AA Gassers tonight. That's right. Take a step back in time. Find out what the racing that is... what am I trying to say? Go back in time to how it used to be. That's what I'm trying to say.
Something
right, Diana?
like that. Right,
Remember
Lucky.
when? We do it again.
Remember? I like that, Bob.
Yes. Well, let's go to line 1. You want to do that now, Lucky? Let's go to line 1 and welcome Michael. I'm going to say this name wrong. It's Delalucci?
Campolucci, but it's close. It's close. No
Campolucci. All right.
Campolucci. Okay. Silly me.
Now, Michael,
How are you all doing?
We are doing great. Welcome to the show, and it's great to have you on. We've been watching all your videos, and man, we're big nostalgia fans here at Speed Scene Live, and we are loving the cars that you guys have, the whole concept. I think one of your racers said something like, if they didn't sell it in the 60s, you can't put it on the car now.
Well, we appreciate you for having us on the show. We really appreciate your interest, and we're glad we can have these cars to showcase to all the wonderful fans like you guys. So thank you for having us.
Now, I'm assuming you're one of the drivers of this group?
I am. Actually, I drive the 33 Willys Code Blue, owned by Larry and Nancy Morton up here in Toronto, Canada.
Cool.
And, it was actually built by Jim Audi a few years ago, and we acquired it, and we've been running it for a few years now.
Wow. Now, I think in one of the videos when I was watching, you were talking about the Code Blue car, and you made a comment about how you've driven all different types of cars, but this is the most fun because you actually have to drive the car.
Yeah, it's not like driving an RJ Pro Stock car, that's for sure. It's white knuckling the whole way and shifting it, and the two hands the whole time. It's a hairy deal, but it's a lot of fun, and it's some good old school heads up drag racing. We really do have a lot of fun doing it.
I love it. All the cars are named we're watching the video, and all the cars have their names on the door.
Yeah, it's old school with the names. It's fun. We really have fun naming the cars and bringing it back and really giving the fans something to cheer for, and you can really paint the picture with the name on the car. That's for sure.
Now we're going to talk about all the whole association, but let's talk about your car a little bit first. Tell us a little bit about what kind of motor, trans, how fast it goes, that type of thing.
No problem. It was originally a G-Force chassis that Jim Audi put together in his home, and it's got a 369 small block Chevy, cast iron block and heads, which is what the club mandates having. It's got a 671 blower on it with injected on alcohol. We got spec fuel pumps. It's got a Ford 9-inch, and it's gone 498, 144 in the 8, and it's a pretty fun hot rod to wheel. It's a good time.
So all your guys have to run small blocks, huh?
We have a 500 cubic inch limit. So.
Oh, 500. Okay, so they could run a big block, but all right, that's good.
But they're all cast iron blocks, cast iron heads, just like they did back in the 60s.
You got it. 671 blowers. We got a blower overdrive limit. We got a spec fuel pump. We run no electronics, spec magneto. It's no wings, straight axle front end, tire rule. We're very limited on the rules to keep the performance in a certain line that keeps everybody happy, and it's been working well, and like I said, we just have a great time.
Now, you're out of Canada. Where do you run normally? What tracks do you normally run at?
Myself, we're based in Canada, but most of our club members are based up and down the East Coast, all the way from South Carolina up to us in Toronto, Canada, and Buffalo, Ohio, up and down. But we mainly run, like I said, from North Carolina. We're at Roxborough. We're at Virginia Motorsports Park, Funny Car Nationals at US 131. So we pretty much do the East Coast up and down as best as we can.
How's the weather over there right now? You aren't racing much, are you?
No, it's not too bad tonight, actually. We've seen above freezing for about a week straight now, so it's actually quite positive.
Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Do they make wrinkle wash no tires for you?
How are you guys doing? You enjoying the weather?
We are. It was about, what do you think, guys? About 70s, 80
Don't
today.
tell them, Diana.
It's a rough winter for us. We've had a couple of days below 80.
You'll just piss them off.
Bob was just talking about his allergies because it's like springtime here, you know.
Yes.
I got the fall allergy, so I know how that feels.
Yeah, our smog's in bloom this time of year.
Our smog's in bloom.
Now, Michael, your group is part of the essence of your group is that you actually put on a show. So is your group available to tracks to book and bring in? Because I know you're a big fan favorite.
Yes, we are actually a booked-in show that we put on, that we basically run our series championship with. So we are able to be booked in here and there, and we are very grateful for the opportunities that we have to run at the great facilities that we do, and we're always grateful for opportunities of anything that comes our way. So yeah, we are definitely open to bookings, and like we say, we run our race in the show, and it's a race all year long to the championship at the end. Excuse me. So we're really racing from front to back the whole way. So it's a good deal.
Approximately how many cars are in your organization?
We have an 8-car show, but we have about 13 cars right now, and there's a few being built here and there, and there's a lot of cars that we know of around the areas that we're hoping to come out. So it's slowly growing, but it's basically what we'd like to call and say the cheapest way to go heads-up racing these days. We don't have any electronics. You can basically go buy something at the junkyard, go bolt it together in your garage with your buddies, put a motor in it, and go racing. So we're trying to make it easy for people to come out and come racing and have a good time.
And you mentioned heads up, so it's not index, it's not brackets. You guys are going to win.
You got it. Heads up all the way. We're as quick as 490s in the 8th, and as slow as 530s, 550s. But we're going heads up all the way, no index, and that's why we have our rules. We keep them strict to keep the performance in check, so nobody really has a drastic advantage, and everybody can pretty much shoot for the same number. So it's designed to keep everybody happy and keep it in a level and playing field that everybody can pretty much achieve. So it's a racer-friendly type of club. Racers racing with racers, just going out and racing and having a good time. Everybody being able to be happy and go home at the end of the weekend with a smile on their face.
Is there a weight constraint? I mean, do the cars have to weigh so much, or?
Yeah, we have 2,500 pounds minimum, and we actually give brakes to cars that are a little bit heavier. You actually get a little bit of a overdrive increase if you're at a certain weight over. So
make it a little more competitive that way.
And try and help everybody. We know that some people, can't get to certain weights, so we try and, help everybody out to be competitive.
Sure.
I know that green car there has about 25, 30 pounds of metal flake in the so that's got to be...
I'm wondering, too, Michael, if it looks like Code Blue has the engine crank hole on the front on the grill. Have you ever tried to start the motor that
way? Not just yet, but if need be, we would have to if we needed to, that's for sure.
Man.
I see all the differences between the vehicles, and I did notice one of the drivers actually looks like he's sitting in the middle of the car, because when he shifts, the shifter's in between his legs.
That could be
yes, that's our good friend John Phelps. He actually won the 2012 championship.
Yeah.
He's actually building a brand new car, a 40 Willie. So I don't think he'll be having it spread down the middle like that anymore.
No.
But yeah, you always look and wonder. There's a few guys actually that run those types of Willies that spread them like that. It's
that's
definitely different. That's for sure.
Well, you have to get creative, I think, because you do have the restraint with the cubic inches, and now with the weight on the car. So they have to get creative and come up with something. So weight displacement helps a lot as well.
You got it. There's lots of ways to place in different areas and maximize on the performance on the car for sure.
Sure.
Are you all running 8th mile, or do you run quarter mile at all?
Strictly 8th mile, just because of the cars with the no wings. These cars can go 780s at 180 miles an hour in the quarter. So, doing that with these short wheelbase and no wings, it could get dangerous, and we don't want to put our people in that situation.
You gotta go flying.
Yeah. Now, I want to mention that your website is nostalgiaagassers.com. Michael, can you tell us some of the companies that are sponsoring you and helping out your group?
Yeah, for sure. We're actually presented by Summit Racing Equipment, and they help us out quite a bit, and they're great. We actually were at their Super Summit event last year in Ohio, and we'll be at theirs again this year, the 5th and 6th in Norwalk, at Norwalk Summit Motorsports Park, actually. But we also got some help from Scott Rod's Custom Hot Rods and Fiberglass. Pro Racing Fuels, Abruzzi Transmissions, Gasser Wars Magazine, Autometer, Mosier Engineering, Mickey Thompson, and Fast Time Rods. And, you know, we'd really like to thank them because without their support, we really couldn't make it happen for our fans and at the track. So we'd really like to thank them. So thank you for bringing it up.
You know, Mike, I got to ask you, a lot of the gassers I'm used to seeing have the front ends way hiked up in the air, and I notice it seems like all your cars have got the front end in a normal position, which I know that's got to help handling.
It definitely does help a bit. You know, these cars are going pretty fast in the 8th, and it does definitely help with the handling. And, you know, it was plain as day back in the day, too, when these cars started to go fast and they got the tires to hook up. And those cars up in the air was kind of dangerous. And, you know, it's a proven fact that, you know, the performance is lower to the ground. So it was something that was back in the 60s as well. And, you know, everyone's trying to go fast and trying to win. So, you know, whatever we got to do, that's generally the racer's mentality. So, you know, it's definitely safer closer to the ground for sure with the speed.
More aerodynamic too.
Yeah. So once again, where's your next race going to be?
We're actually starting the season off May 22nd and 3rd at Roxborough Motorsports Park in Timberlake, North Carolina.
Nice.
We're doing back-to-back, or that weekend, actually. We're doing the Sunday at New London Dragway in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Very good.
If you guys want to let me shout out my schedule, I'll let you tune in on all of them. If our fans want to, you know, come out and see us, we always like signing autographs and letting people come up close and seeing the cars and really seeing that these cars are old school. You know, they got nothing but attack, and so it's a good thing to see.
I want to know how you got the photographer underneath the car during the
We got some dedicated people.
That's got to be a while. Talk about the guy shifting and then there's a guy hanging underneath. I don't know.
Well, some of this footage is from Nitro America, right?
Yes, our good friend Les Mayhew. He's a great guy. He really helps us out, and he does some great stuff for us. Great guy.
I want to mention him because he is probably one of the most talented videographers out there, and we enjoy every piece of work that he's ever put out there, and we've used a bunch of it on the show just because it's so darn good.
For sure, and we can't thank him enough. He's very personable, and he's great to deal with, and he makes it very easy to get the end result. So we can't be happier with everything that he's done for us. So it's great stuff.
Nice. So nostalgia.gassers.com, and I'm sure your whole schedule's on there so people can check it out. They can find out where you're going to be. We recommend that people go on down, see you. You're a great group of racers. Cool cars. Man, I love that whole style, the whole essence of the period correct. Nostalgia AA Gassers. So good. Michael, thank you so much for calling in, and we'd love to hear from you after your first event of the year, find out who won, and maybe you'll be talking about yourself in the Code Blue car winning that event.
For sure. We really appreciate you guys having us and your interest in our club, and we'll definitely keep you guys updated with our results for the season. Thank you so much again for having us.
Thank you, Michael.
You guys take care. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Well, you know what? I think it'd be the people that were racing back then on the way to the track, they had to stop at a gas station, right, Bob?
Yes, they did. Because they did run gas.
Well, they did. They did. You know, they got the fuel up, and some of the people in the car had to empty. So
But
tell us a little bit about that.
Were they gas stations or were they service stations,
They
Bob?
were service
Service stations.
Yes.
Where you actually got true service.
That's right. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Beck, and you've got gas. And you're going to see about gas, too. We've got some old vintage shots of some gas stations or service stations as they really were. Before the days of self-service, you didn't get out of your car at a gas station. You got gas at the station, and you got full service. And I can remember, even the kids, they got service, too. Come on now, So you had a service station attendant, sometimes 2 or 3 on a vehicle. This is a little bit more nowadays, but I figured, we'll throw that in just to make you think about it. Those are today, and then this was yesterday. I mean, here's the gas station, the Texaco station. Everyone wore white, except for the guy in the middle, who was probably the boss. But they took an old B-17, or I believe that is, mounted it on top of a building, and that was the calling card to come into the station there.
And hopefully it didn't get too windy or that thing would take off.
It might be. Now, in Los Angeles area, there was a major gasoline station company and refiner called Gilmore. They sponsored a lot of racing. They were gas stations here throughout Southern California. This is one of the stations at the time. in the LA area. I'm not quite sure where, but Gilmore Gas.
Interesting pump arrangement there. They're all close to the building, so there's really only a couple of lanes you can access.
At that point in time, you didn't have multiple areas to get gas. There weren't that many people coming in to get stuff. This is probably one of the first high-tech stations.
Ooh, that
and
does
you can
look
see
very
it.
modern.
You got plenty of covers. There's nobody there to service the vehicles, but there's probably someone standing someplace. But this was a mobile, and they called it mobile gas, not mobile like we have today. It was called mobile gas. The picture is about 1956, 57 era.
You're going by the cars, right?
I'm going by the cars,
Okay.
yes. Now here's another one.
Texaco.
Texaco. Clean restrooms. They always advertise that. Find one now.
Yeah, really.
And the gas had names.
Yeah.
Sky Jeep was the gasoline marketing name they used.
And it
with the
has
different
Petrox
brands.
in it, whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever it was, but they you get your Petrox on the road. I don't know. Now here's
Oh,
another
more
Gilmore from the
yeah.
Los Angeles area, and you can look at this one. This was probably, they were a volume gasoline seller.
That is a lot of pumps.
Lot
Look
of
at those
pumps,
islands, man.
especially for the LA area. No covers, and we're in California. It doesn't rain.
Yeah.
Ohio. In Ohio, there was a separate distributor for Standard Oil, and it was Ohio, Standard Oil of Ohio.
Huh.
This one's about 1956. Sunoco. We don't have them out here on the West Coast. This is definitely an East Coast, and this was Gasoline Wars. Look at that, 26.9.
And they still have them today. They still have
Yeah.
Sunoco stations out there.
Yes,
and
they
you
do.
can drive up and get race gas at some of them.
At some of the Sunocos back in the day, back east, you had 5 or 6 different blends, and you dialed in which blend you wanted. And somehow the machine mixed it, kind of like your soda machines today.
Sure. Wow.
Now here's a Gulf station. The first gas station I worked at was a Gulf station.
Oh, you worked at a gas station?
I worked at a gas station. Yeah, most of us did. We started out working in gas stations as kids because that's how we got our car fixed.
This one was. Yeah, you're right. You're right. This one was probably in the American West somewhere, Arizona,
Right.
New Mexico, or
Probably
something.
off Route 66 or something.
Yeah.
Because it's pottery, baskets, souvenirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a stop along the highway. And judging by this picture, it's mid 60s, mid to late 60s. Got a nice Mustang in the middle there, a Volkswagen Beetle.
Maybe
and
an
what looks
Imperial?
like- yeah,
Maybe?
either that
New
or a
Yorker?
Chrysler or something. One of the big Chryslers right there on the end.
Now, boy, Gulf used to. It seems like that was a big sponsor of some of the big, Le Mans type racing.
Yes, they were. They were one of the majors at the time. And here, Rancho Cucamonga, that's here in Southern California, and that's when gas stations had styling to them. I mean, these were fine, classic styling by today's standards. Little southwestern styling, and look at the pumps. Those you have to. The
Wow.
attendant would have to crank to fill the top glass. To where you wanted it. How many gallons do you want? And that's what he's filling it to.
That's amazing. This, by the way, I believe was a black and white shot that's been colored.
Colorized. Yeah. Yeah, this is probably from the 20s.
Richfield
20s,
gas.
early 30s.
So that way you could tell you were really getting 10 gallons of gas.
Yeah, and Richfield, as we know out here on the West Coast, is now Arco.
Yes, that's the R in Arco, Atlantic Richfield.
Now, this station's in Van Nuys, California. It was Casa de Petrol because right next to it was Casa de Cadillac.
Yeah.
And they had that, and then they had Casa de Car Wash in between. And this, I don't know if the station is still there, but the Cadillac and the Cadillac dealer and the car wash are. And this was on Ventura Boulevard in Van Nuys or Sherman Oaks.
God, look at that 59 Chevy there, just waiting for
Yeah.
somebody to scoop it up.
Oh yeah, and then the Chrysler on the end there, and I'm not sure what's got the hood open. Look kind of like a Nomad.
Yeah, I think so.
Mobile. There we go. About 1958, and there's a nice 57 Chevy. They look, it's got chrome reverse rims.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Dang, and I don't know what's in the shop over there in the background.
Yeah, I don't know. Now this one's in L.A. Union 76. That's another California brand. Now you do see them on some of the NASCAR tracks. 76 seems to provide a lot of the fuel at racetracks, but not here on the West Coast. You see it at Daytona and places like that, but that was in the West L.A. area.
Yeah, with the hills and stuff.
This one's back east someplace. I can't read the sign right now, but I was looking at it when I first downloaded it. And this was a gas station off that parking lot, too.
6th Avenue, New York.
New York, okay.
Wow.
And if you look at it, they had, you got to make money, so what you did is you had parking at the same place. So people would bring their car into park, you'd service it while they were at work, and then put it back out in the parking lot.
Of course. Yeah, and charge them a fortune.
All right, now look at this one. Look at those cars.
Look at those
pumps.
pumps.
And then look at the sign. corn alcohol gasoline.
Ooh, way back then.
Way
huh?
back then, 10%. They were doing it back then. This is not something new that the greenies have come up with.
Yeah.
It is something that has been done for decades.
Now, I wonder what they did. You know, the problem with ethanol now is it just destroys a lot of the older rubber parts and stuff in cars.
It still did.
Yeah. Oh, it
But
still
they didn't realize
did.
it.
Oh, my.
See, and then at that point in time, too, it also ate the metals. Again, carburetors were pot metal. The alcohol cuts, I mean, you run, even on my kid's junior dragster, we'd have to flush that thing out with gasoline. Otherwise, the pot metal in the carburetor would get eaten by the alcohol.
That explains what happened to a carburetor of mine, because it was 6 months old and that thing was bleeding aluminum bits. I was going, what's happening here?
That's the problem. That's why everyone's trying to stop this 15% increase that they're trying to do it. E15. All right, here we go. Service. The guy's in to get the car taken care of. You got one guy checking tires, one guy pumping gas, one guy cleaning the headlights off, and another guy the windshield.
And they're all in these glorious uniforms.
Everyone's wearing a uniform. I can remember the last gas station I worked at was a Shell station, and I had a base salary plus commission. So naturally, we checked everything under the hood: belts, hoses, oil.
And if anything was awry, then
you tell somebody, hey, you need this. I can change it while you're here. It'll only take me a minute, and I made commission off those sales on the drive.
But that's nice, because if your fan belt's getting ready to go and somebody catches it, it's better than being on the side of the road.
That was it.
You know, and every state is different, Bob, because like when I travel up to Oregon, I cannot get out of my car and pump my own gas.
No.
They will have a fit
That's
because by law they have to pump gas. So they do come out and they do give me service. They clean my windshield and everything.
This was another California-only gas station, Signal Gas.
Which gives Signal Hill its name here. It's a local
There's a 57.
refinery,
There's a 57 Chevy.
Little Oldsmobile and a 57 Chevy there, and it's free something today.
What's that in the background, that little white car by that truck? Is that an old Mercedes?
No,
it's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell. I think it's an old Chrysler product, but an old cab over Ford, so that's about 58 to 60 vintage.
And of course, Diana-Mite mentioned the stamps you used to get. The big sign underneath Signal says blue chip stamps.
Blue chip, which was California, and then it's free. There was something free. Grand opening.
Yeah, grand opening. 5 pounds of sugar free.
Wow.
Other
Probably
prices
with your
and
fill
gifts.
up.
Yeah.
They didn't put that sugar in the tank of your car, did they?
No, not intentionally.
I know, that's not
did.
good.
Yeah.
Phillips 66. They
Only
were all
if it
across
was
the country.
Bob's service station where he
Bob's
was
service.
getting commission.
Commission on the filters, yes. Look at that. Some of these old cars are just great. But these are the early days of gas stations. They're cutting the ribbon on this new station, but there's no covers overhead. And this is Esso.
Amazing.
But here we go. This guy, definitely Escondido, California, down towards San Diego. Union 76 station. Even the pumps were red, white, and blue. And at that point in time,
25 cents.
you had your choice of regular, mid-range, and premium.
Okay. And by the way, playing at the Escondido Bowl that week were Johnny Preston, the Cajuns, and it was Ladies' Night on Wednesday.
You can read that?
I got a big screen.
Sure.
You have to zoom in on your Windows Media Player.
His computer looks like a drive-in movie.
Yeah, compared to what we're looking at. All right, here's another Signal station, a nice, about a 48 Buick convertible, 46 to 48 Buick convertible. And again, the guy's checking the tires while everyone sits in the car.
Beautiful. Another mobile gas station there. Oh, interesting, though. Wait a minute. It's got the E on the end.
Yeah, Mobile.
Huh. I wonder what that story is about.
Yeah, well, it's probably someone who it was an independent service station. He didn't want to be mobile anymore.
Yeah.
So he put the E at the end.
Sure.
There you go. You got the guy pumping gas, the guy taking the order for the other items, another guy checking.
He might as well be saying, yeah, you'll have fries with that and a milkshake, chocolate shake, yeah.
Now, I looked at this picture, and I'll tell you what. I'm gonna wonder, and I've got to ask Steve Gibbs if that's him.
Where? Which one?
In that group of 4 guys standing there, if you look at that car, that looks exactly like Steve Gibbs' 49 Ford that he has now. Bing Speed Shop, Bingley was here in the L.A. area, and in the 50s and 60s, and Ed Bingley was a racer as well. He moved on to SCCA and road racing later on with Porsches. But I looked at this picture, and as soon as I saw it, I go, I wonder if that's Gibbs standing there.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know if we
Can we make it bigger?
Yeah, that could be Steve right there in the middle with his hands in his pocket.
Huh.
Wait a minute, they all have their hands in their pocket.
Okay, that's right. Well, the guy in the tall one. All right, now this
With a funny hairdo.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
Proving that women can do the same job that guys do. Here they are, servicing the
Hey,
guy's
look
vehicle.
at that. And up at the top says Victory Girls. I don't know what that would have meant. Something to do with maybe near the
Well,
war.
it's probably after the war, during the war, when the women were allowed to take jobs that men normally would have had back then.
Allowed to take
That's
jobs.
right.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Well,
They were
remember there was
allowed.
Rosie the Riveter. Mm-hmm. Once the guys came back from World War II, most of the women were not working anymore.
There was Virginia the Victory Girl.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a standard station.
Yeah, and a 58 GM product of
There's
some
a
sort.
Buick at the right
That's
side.
an Impala, right?
There's a
58 Impala.
58. Well, I don't know if that's an Impala, but it is a 58 Chevy. There's
yeah.
a 57 across from it.
Yeah.
You know, these gas stations had such style, you know, that the not just the guys in uniform servicing the cars, but the signs and the pumps and even the
architecture.
buildings with the windows and stuff.
You know, the glory years of America.
years, yes.
Really, seriously.
Yeah.
All right, so how did you get gas back then? Well, we did it in style, and unfortunately those days are long gone. The uniforms now are T-shirts and blue jeans. And,
Yeah, and we pump our
Well,
own
actually, now they're behind a glass
Behind the
wall,
glass,
and you know,
And you
Surrounded by lottery tickets.
exactly.
That's it.
But many of you out there, at one point in time, one little window of time, you managed to get your gas back then from a young Hot Rod Bob Beck.
That's
so
right.
even then, he was giving you gas.
That's right. If you were in North Hollywood back in the 60s, that's where I was. Way back in the olden days.
Well, Bruce, let's take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk Diana-Mite's car. We're going to give you a little more update. We're going to show you how to put those Racedex pistons in a small block Chevy.
Take your vehicle's racing performance to an all-new level with a custom racing engine from Paul Williams Specialties. Put PWS's 30-plus years of experience to work on your race car, muscle car, any type of high-performance engine. PWS can build your winning combination from scratch or refresh and improve your current engine. Working on a project? Don't waste money through trial and error. Consult with Paul Williams first. Rev up your performance with Paul Williams Specialties, helping championship-level drivers become champions through better performance and reliability.
For over half a century, Curry rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Curry lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Curry gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Curry expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Curry's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Curry Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies. And other underside parts, like correct link steering systems, keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Curry rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at curryenterprises.com.
everyone in the armed forces that has served to defend our great country and our freedom, all of us here in the United States of America would like to offer our sincere appreciation for all that you do and all that you've done. To every family that has made a sacrifice for us, we thank you.
60 years. That's a long time for a company to do any one thing. Doing it right while sticking to your founding values. Now that takes hard work and dedication. For 60 years, Hedman's all-American workforce has been devoted to manufacturing the very best headers any team of craftsmen can build. That's 60 years of cutting, 60 years of bending, 60 years of welding, more than 2 million in all, and every set made right here at home. At Hedman Headers, we build all-American horsepower, then back it up for life. Hedman Headers, made in the USA.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com.
Welcome back. Diana-Mite with Speed Scene Live. I want to wish everybody a happy St. Patty's Day. I dressed up just for you, boys and girls.
I love those
Don't
clovers.
Like it's a lucky charm.
Green clovers.
Irish. Yes.
Never mind.
How much Irish do you have in you, Diana-Mite?
I don't know. How much do you want me to have in me, Lucky?
Hey, well, on to Pistons, which kind of looks like what you guys were talking about.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is Paul Williams, and of course, we were talking at the top of the hour about Diana-Mite's Project 406 motor.
It's all about Diana-Mite, right?
Well, you think so. And then that's all that matters, right?
Exactly.
This is Paul Williams installing the pistons, and, you know, these are Race Tech pistons. This is a great company, and I endorse Race Tech pistons wholeheartedly. I used to use a piston from another brand that was actually made by this guy. He sold the company, retired, got out of the business, came back, is making them better than ever. So I'm not going to mention that brand just in case.
I was kind of shocked because when you said you went and picked up these pistons, you know, I thought they were just like, oh, you know, you pick up a box of pistons. And you're like, oh, no. They have a solid piece of metal, and from that, they fabricate these pistons. And I'm like, really?
And
you know, it's just not like, oh, you know, one size fits all, or, you know, you don't pull them off the shelf, put them in the box. What size do you need? No.
And they make these here in California, made in USA. Yeah, no overseas.
America.
And we actually got the, it's a short skirt piston, but we went with a lighter pin to reduce.
Diana likes short skirts.
To keep the weight down. You know, we took a little weight off the pin.
Can we call it a mini skirt?
We could.
Okay,
we would be wrong.
Diana
but we could
likes mini skirts.
Are they plaid with saddle shoes?
Yes.
But that's another story.
You got short shorts.
Oh, God.
Well,
Go ahead, Lucky.
Okay. This is Paul Williams. He installed the pistons, and then what he's doing is he's measuring how far up into the, the cylinder they come up, how far down. These turned out just perfect. We didn't want them to come into the combustion chamber too much. These have a dome in them, not a huge dome, but a nice dome. We didn't want the super dome ones that he likes to have.
Wouldn't that give me more compression if they were super domed?
It would.
A super dome.
But he likes to have the.
Where's that Irish whiskey?
With him, it's all about how the flash travels. And
flash.
when the spark plug ignites the charge, if you had too much dome, it has to go around the dome. He likes it to just go out.
How about those dished ones? What do those do?
They save gas and keep it from having horsepower.
Oh, nobody wants those.
Yeah, and I noticed these are fly cut to clear the valves.
Yes, they are. Ooh. They are because it does have some dome in there. Not a whole lot, but enough to give us good compression.
And, what's that compression in that
I
engine?
think we're right around 12 to 1 in this.
12 to 1. You told me 13 to 1.
I lie to you all the time.
You took away. That much. You know, that's what's wrong with us women and why we can't measure anything. Because you men all our lives tell us this is 6 inches, this is 8 inches, and this is domed and this isn't it. Yeah. That's why we're all screwed up when it comes to measurements.
It's got a 6-inch bore.
I'm glad somebody figured that out. I'm glad somebody figured out what the issue was.
I blame it on men.
You're in trouble now.
Yep.
Well, you can see how nice the pistons are. You can see, Paul takes his time. He makes sure that the piston rings are all lined up just the way he wants. He says you have to be particularly careful with the top ring, the oil ring, because they're a little more fragile. You want to make sure that they fit into the compressor nice. When I was doing my old motors back in the old days, we would actually have this spring-loaded piston ring compressor.
Sure, I had one of those.
And then you would put the piston in, and you would take a hammer and take the pound it in with the handle. And then later I bought one of these things. They called it a deadweight hammer, I think, where it was a plastic tube filled with BBs or something, so that you kind of had to pound it into the motor. And look at how nice this goes together. He pushes it in just with his fingers, and it just slides right in, and boom, it's in the motor.
Well,
Abracadabra.
And he's building these because you're going to get expansion from the pistons, so the clearances between the cylinder wall and the pistons are critical.
It is very, and he measured everything. He made sure that the gap on the rings were right. He made sure that they're staggered the way he liked. We did a whole thing about how he was, filing the rings. And then when he takes his motor and he buttons it down, he'll torque it all later. But after he gets it all together, he spins it around. He says, "Check this out," and it spins so easy. And it seemed to me that I remember there being a lot of drag, but I guess the tolerances when I did the work just weren't quite as exact as when Paul Williams Specialties does the work.
Well, he's like blueprinting the engine here, right?
Oh, everything's perfect.
Yeah, I don't think you did that, Lucky, on
I thought I did. It turns out I wasn't quite as blueprint as I thought I was.
Yeah, that sanding block you used to level the heads out.
That emery board that you were filing those piston rings with to make them fit, that...
Yeah, it's funny. I remember that same thing, though. I had a problem with an engine that kept breaking piston skirts, and I never did figure it out. I think somehow, somewhere, the bottom of the cylinders on a couple of cylinders had gotten widened out. They'd gotten worn. And so the piston skirts would slap back and forth until they broke. And, man, so often on the side of the road, I'd be pushing another piston into that car, just stuck at the side of the road.
Well, you carried extra piston in the trunk or something?
Boy, that's dedication.
That was dedication. And, I didn't have any money. That's been the case for all of us throughout history, depending on what part of your life you're in. And, I don't remember being able to spin an engine easily after getting it back together.
He was in Alaska. It's broken, you stay in the snowdrift, or you fix it and drive home.
That's true.
Now look at that.
Look at how easy he's spinning there.
They're moving. Look at that.
And
so much for that compression.
He goes. It spins really nice and easy. This is the way I like it to be. And I said, well, wait a minute, let me try that, okay? Because that looks like it's just way too. And then wow, man.
That reminds me of that model, the visible V8, where you're watching the pistons go up and down.
I had one of those.
I still got it. I haven't finished putting it together.
And that was he's going to do the other bank, and then after he gets all 8 in, he goes through and he torques all the pistons, he spins it around, he rechecks the torque, spins it around, goes through a third time, rechecks all the connecting rods.
So now, did you learn a lot from this, Lucky?
Well, I learned that boy, it's really hard to build a good motor. There's so much work involved. With a stock small block Chevy, a lot of stuff you just put together. You check some stuff, but boy, there is really a lot of work to a fast, high horsepower motor. And there's so many little tricks that Paul Williams has learned over the years, because he's been doing this for years and years, and he's worked on a lot of pro mod teams, and he's worked in high performance shops. And a lot of this stuff he knows that basically I would have to learn, and if I didn't know, it would be a problem. And
so you learned it's better to leave it to the experts.
Well, like this. Look at this little relief he puts on the block so that the connecting rod bolts don't hit the rail.
And he did that on every cylinder. Look at that.
On every cylinder, because they just get real close on, with a stroker crank and a 400 Chevy block. Now, a Dart block's already recessed, but he just did these little touches that maybe I wouldn't know, and then I would put it together, and it would go clunk, clunk, and I would be out there trying to recess the block
with a file or something.
and not get the shavings, and it would all be wrong.
They'll wash out. They'll get caught in the filter. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Clearance the rods, bearings.
There's so many little tricks, and my point of all these videos is not to teach people all the tricks, but just to show how difficult it really is to build a motor that runs good, stays together. And Diana-Mite, your motor, when you fire it up, fires right up.
It does, Lucky. You know what? And my problem is in the past, I would always have to pump it and give it gas and, try to piddle with it to get it started and so forth. This one, I don't have to do that. It's like I turn the fuel pump on, turn it off, pump it twice, and then turn it over, and it starts. How easy is that? There's a lot of compression there, but to have a car that starts each and every time, it's such a big deal.
And it idles?
Yeah, great.
And it doesn't get hot?
It doesn't. You don't think it's that trick of painting the block black, do you?
I'm sure that's it. If you want to take credit for that, I'm sure that's it.
Well, an old engine builder one time told me, paint the block black, it'll keep your engine cooler. And so I told Lucky next time I get an engine built, I want to make sure that the block is painted black. But I'm sure that has just a minuscule thing to do with it.
But, I've always wondered, how does the block know it's painted black?
I don't know. Yo-Yo, you tell me.
Eyes. Hey, you know what? We've got 5 minutes left. And I know it's St. Patrick's Day, and Diana-Mite has to get down and drink some green beer and some
Who says I
Jameson
haven't?
But maybe we should do a little what's going on. And actually, we're going to take some of the March Meet Fighting Irish team and use them to help us celebrate this holiday, because they actually ran 2 cars out at the March Meet.
Yes.
They had the Nostalgia rear engine dragster that you see here. And then, of course, they had the Nostalgia Nitro Funny Car. And
look at the
and the Nostalgia Backup Girl.
Nostalgia. And look at it. Have you ever been more proud to be Irish?
See, there's those short plaid skirts I was talking about.
Absolutely.
There you go. That's the one.
There were 3 guys running around in those at the March Meet as well. I had a little talk with them and found out a few things.
I hope the wind didn't blow up their skirts.
Their skirts were a little bit longer than hers.
Thank God.
Yes. But we want to let everybody know that What's Going On is brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, Hedman Headers, Aeromotive, TheFoat.com, and M&H Tires.
And we would like to let everyone know before we go into our regular What's Going On, I want to remind everybody that Pink's All Out is at the Rockingham Dragway. That's June 30th to July 4th. Tickets on sale now. Visit Facebook, put in Pink's All Out Week, and you know what? There's still tickets available. Go ahead, sign up now, and be part of the return of Pink's All Out. Diana-Mite, how about that Bottom Bulb Spring Bash at Buffalo Valley? That's going to be March.
Mouthful. How about Bottom Bulb Spring Bash at Buffalo Valley, March 21st and 22nd with guaranteed payouts.
And at Beach Bend, they've got their 10 truck series in full swing, March 20th through the 22nd.
Bruce, did you know that there's $45,000 in payouts at Thunder Valley Raceway Park?
I do now.
Oklahoma, March 27th through the 29th. No, don't leave now, Bruce. Don't leave now. You got plenty of time.
Yes. NMCA West. You had
Sorry,
to do
just
that.
stealing the cash out of the kitty.
Absolutely. NMCA West, March 27th through the 29th at Auto Club Raceway, Fontana. We're going to have Pro Mods, radial tires, all kinds of classes. Make sure you stop by the Hedman booth. And you know what? Look for Lucky and myself. We'll be racing there. And we want to thank Cammie so much for coming on the show last week.
And don't forget about the autocross. You can do some autocross racing. Get your car out there. Doesn't matter what you're driving. If you can drive in.
I bet our friend Carrie Ann will be out there.
I hope she will. She's always does a great job out there. Hey, also Mopar's at the Strip, the 27th through the 29th at Viva Las Vegas.
SCR Spring Bracket Brawl, April 4th, 5th, Super Foot Pro, Foot Brake, Juniors, and Street Classes.
And if you want to get dirty, Sand Mountain Dragway Door Slammer Showdown, April 11th and 12th.
Bob, where will you be next?
I'm going to be at the Brea Baptist Church Car Show. They block off a big street in Brea and do that this weekend. And then next weekend, I'll be down in Fontana with you guys.
All right,
But I'll be
great.
in the AAA booth.
All right. And, of course, every Thursday, Under the Stars.
All right, our Wendell Drag Strip, your place to race. Take it off the street and bring it to the strip.
We'll be back next week, and we're going to have Racers Who Care, a great charity on the show next week. Coming up, we got Alex the Car Girl. We've got Rich Christensen from Pink's All Out. We got a bunch of stuff.
We've got more interviews with Donnie Couch out there at the Pomona Winter Nationals. Yeah.
There you go. More whiskey for Diana-Mite. Quickly.
Yeah, green whiskey.
Irish coffee.
Irish coffee. A little of the Baileys, if you would. Hey, coming up next is the encore presentation of tonight's show. Hopefully you do have and are having and whatnot a great St. Patty's Day. We're going to do this again 1 week from right now, right here at SpeedSceneLive.com.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFope.com.